something's going on with Kyrie Irving. Something weird. I mean, basically, Kyrie Irving is allowed to watch the games of his own team as a fan, but he cannot play in the games because he's considered a New York City worker. His workplace is in New York City, the Brooklyn Nets. Right? No, is he Brooklyn Nets?
Yes.
Okay, he's Brooklyn Nets. And so since he hasn't been vaccinated, he's not allowed to play inside of that arena. But if he wanted to attend as a fan, that would be no problem because he's not a worker, even if he's not vaccinated. This is the boneheaded place that our weird vaccine rules have gotten us. And I guess Kevin Durant, who's also a basketball player for the Brooklyn Nets, said Mayor Adams is basically just looking for some attention because this looks so stupid and absurd. Here's Kevin Durant defending Kyrie Irving.
At this point now, somebody's trying to make a statement or a point to flex their authority. But, you know, everybody out here looking for attention, and that's what I feel like the mayor wants right now, some attention, you know. But he'll figure it out soon. He better. You know, people didn't understand what was going on, but now it just looks stupid. So hopefully, Eric, you got to figure this out.
Yeah, you got to figure this out. What do you think of it?
Sorry, just hit a pothole. Look, nothing is consistent about this entire COVID era, right? You know, wear your mask in the airport, wear it in the plane. Here's some Fiesta mix. Go ahead and take your mask off while you eat the Fiesta mix. Now put your mask back on. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. You need to get vaccinated, even though I'm vaccinated, and you need to get vaccinated to protect you from me or me from you. It's all been one circle talk. And I have a theory behind the things that don't make sense, which is to say, if you want to control somebody and you want to exact your power and authority over somebody, ask him to do things that make sense. That's not really you using your power and authority. So, you know, when the state says you need to wear your seatbelt when you're operating your motor vehicle, that's authority, but it also lives in some reality and it makes sense and it doesn't make them dictators. But if the state says when you're walking in your neighborhood and you pass a flagpole, you have to circle it 3 times before you can go on, then that's true authority. It doesn't make sense. And what they're doing in the states that want the most power is the things that make the least sense, because it means they have the most dominion over their populace.
Mm-hmm. Right. This makes absolutely no sense. And this is actually kind of a great case because it shows how nonsensical it is. Because if you're not on the Brooklyn Nets and you go to play at this arena and you see Kyrie Irving sitting on the bench because he can't play because he's an employee in New York City, he's sitting on the bench. And let's say you're an unvaccinated player from some other team outside of New York City. You're allowed to play. That's okay. The New York City rule says players from other teams that don't work in New York City full time, they're okay coming into the arena. But if you happen to be, so it's absurd, right? The unvaccinated, if he has like a purple jersey on, he can play, but not Kyrie Irving because he technically works in New York City.
Well, I was just watching the Ivy League basketball playoffs the last weekend, and everyone in the stands was wearing a mask. Everyone on the bench was wearing a mask. The refs were wearing a mask. But the players, the ones spitting and grunting and sweating on each other, weren't wearing masks. It's all theater. I mean, they closed down outdoor dining in Los Angeles. They closed down the parks. They bulldozed the skate park so the kids couldn't skateboard outside. They took down the nets at the beach for outdoor volleyball, vitamin D, exercise, the best thing you could do for COVID. None of it made any sense. This is just the last of the part that doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. And in LA, I'm sure you know, they've just announced that the mask mandate for the kids is staying up and operable until the end of the year. They're not taking it down.
Yes, thank you, LA Unified School District, and thank you, teachers' unions. They're a bunch of cowards. And here's the other thing, too, and hypocrites, and there is no science to what they're doing. But I want you to remember this phrase, Megyn, because you say, the kids, the mask, why? Why can the adults go anywhere? Or why you can go maskless in a movie theater, an arena, concert event, Trader Joe's? Why the kids? And why the emphasis on the kids? This hasn't been dangerous for kids. We've known this. This kills sick people, old people, obese people, comorbidity people. It doesn't ostensibly affect kids. They're in the safest category. So why drilling down on the kids? Why the constant conversation about the category of people this ostensibly doesn't affect? Well, just remember this phrase, Megyn: crate training. You cannot train a dog when it's middle age. You got to get them when they're puppies and get them trained up and into that crate. And that's what we're doing with kids, because this will not be the last emergency, and it'll not be the last time the government and the governor and the mayor need to exact their power. And so let's get the kids into the crate. Let's get them coached up, and then they'll be ours. We can do whatever we want with them after that. They'll listen to anything.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.